Down there, life continues. The traffic is awful, stocks go on trading, and Star Trek is still showing.
Good morning, grade 9 learners. Welcome to our today's natural science lesson, proudly brought to you by the Gauteng Department of Education. My name is Milton Gomo. Let's look at the structure of our lesson. The knowledge area of our lesson is life and living, and the topic of our lesson is systems in the human body. And then the subtopic of our lesson is body systems. So that's how our lesson is structured today. Let's quickly go through our objectives of the day. By the end of the lesson, we're supposed to be able to describe the main systems of the body. And these include the digestive system, the circulatory system, the respiratory system, the musculoskeletal system, as well as the reproductive systems and excretory system. Right, we're also supposed to be able to state the processes and purposes of the different body systems, as well as being able to give the health issues associated with each of the body systems. And the source of our lesson is KEBS document, page 57. So these are the objectives of the day. Let's look at the pre-knowledge, what we need to recall so that we can easily fit in throughout today's lesson. Right, let's recall what we did in grade 4 under the topic of living things. Under the topic of living things, that's our pre-knowledge, right? And this is going to help you to be able to understand what today's lesson is all about. We're going to use the pre-knowledge to answer the baseline assessment, which is having 3 questions as shown. Number 1, what are tissues made up of? Number 2, define an organ. Number 3, distinguish between an organ and an organism. I'm going to have 3 minutes for this baseline activity. Thereafter, we'll get the corrections. Right, welcome back. Let us look at the baseline assessment and look at the responses that you are supposed to write for each question there. All right, don't forget to send your responses through our WhatsApp number 079-578-2908. Send your work, comments, write in all your responses to our WhatsApp number 079-578-2908. Right, let's look at our activity. Number 1, what are tissues made up of? Tissues are made up of group of similar cells. Right, number 2, define an organ. An organ is the collection of different tissues working together. Then number 3, the final one, distinguish between an organ and an organism. How do these two differ from each other? An organ is made up of different tissues which work together to form a system, while an organism is made up of different systems, right? Working together. We can just summarize this like this. Organs make up systems, while systems make up organisms. That's our baseline activity. Okay, so the slide corrections for those not do well, the slide corrections, and for those did well, keep it up. Let's move on. Let's look at our terminology, the keywords and new vocabulary, as we're going to use these throughout the lesson. The first term we're going to define is digestion. Let's look at it. This is the process of breaking food into smaller and simpler substances. That's digestion. Next one is esophagus. This is the tube that connects the mouth to the stomach, right? What is meant by a heart attack, right? This one is a blood clot that blocks the flow of blood, whereby the heart muscle cells do not receive oxygen and the heart can be damaged, right? What about stroke? This is a blood flow to the brain. It happens when the blood flow to the brain is stopped and the brain cells start to die because of lack of oxygen. Remember, cells need oxygen to survive, right? Let's move on with our terminology. Asthma is a disorder that causes airways of lungs to swell, and it leads to shortness of breath and coughing. Okay? Lung cancer is a disease where lung cells have grown uncontrollable, often caused by smoking. So stay away from smoking. Respiration, the process that uses oxygen to convert food into energy. That's our terminology. Let's look at the first part of our subtopic. That's body systems, right? The human body consists of several integrated systems which work together. So these systems come together to perform a common function. For example, when you hear a morning alarm, the body systems work together to allow a response. So it's one of the examples that the body systems, right, work on together so that you give a response to whatever situation that's happening. Body systems, we're going to start by looking at them in detail one by one. Look at all of them that are going to be discussed throughout the lesson. Systems to be discussed are the digestive system, the circulatory system, the respiratory system, the musculoskeletal system, the excretory system, the nervous system, and the reproductive system. So these are the systems that I'm going to be discussing throughout the lesson. So let's get started as we look at them one by one. We're going to start with the digestive system. What's the function of the digestive system? It breaks down food into dissolved nutrients that can be absorbed into the bloodstream then transported to cells throughout the body. The main components include the mouth, esophagus, stomach, intestines, and the liver. Remember that all this begins in the mouth, where you chew and bite food. Then after that, you swallow the food, goes to stomach, where also digestion continues until the food is now taken to the intestines, then it's now absorbed into the bloodstream, then it's now transported to all parts of the body. That's how digestion takes place. Okay, this type of digestive system. There is the mouth we're talking about. That's where it begins. Where you are going to just put food in the mouth, you bite, chew it, then of course you are going to what? To swallow that food. It's going to run down your stomach through that long tube called the esophagus. Right. Then there's the stomach. There are other parts that are shown there, which include large and small intestines, the pancreas, the salivary glands, the liver, gallbladder, and the appendix. So all those are found within the structure of the digestive system. Let's look at the main processes of the digestive system. One, ingestion. What is ingestion? The intake of food by biting, by chewing, and swallowing. That's the first process of digestion, okay, which begins in the mouth. What follows? Digestion, the mechanical and chemical processes that convert food into soluble nutrients. Okay, the next process is going to be absorption. When now digestion has been completed, food now needs to be absorbed into the bloodstream, then transported to all the body parts so that growth is what initiated. Remember that all the body parts need to have food supplies so that your body can function properly, can grow healthy. Okay, absorption. What happens in this case? It occurs when soluble nutrients are taken up by the bloodstream in the intestines. Then the last process, we're talking about digestion. This case now occurs when undigested food materials called feces are passed out of the body through the anus. So you ingest your food, have your food digested, have your food absorbed. Then that part of the food which was not digested is the one which is released from your body through the anus as feces. These are waste products of digestion. Okay, let's look at the health issues associated with the digestive system. Ulcers, usually this is now becoming a common disease to most of us. Right, what is this disease about? It is a breach in the lining of the epithelium. A breach can just as well call it a sore. So which develops in the lining of the epithelium, and then that one is going to cause a discomfort, and then you now have problems with absorption and digestion of food. Affects mostly the intestines. Right. What other health issue do we need to discuss? Under digestive system, we've got what is called the anorexia nervosa. Right. What is this one? It is an eating disorder characterized by weight loss due to food restriction. If you don't get enough food, or you get limited food supplies, or you do not eat a balanced diet, which means any lack of the essential nutrients to your body system is going to cause your weight to deteriorate. It's going to be disturbed, and then you develop a disorder which is called the anorexia nervosa. Right. We also have what is called the liver cirrhosis. Right. What is this about? This is fibrosis of the liver caused by the long liver damage. Right. As you can see there, we've got an image showing a healthy liver and cirrhosis of liver. Right. There it is. The healthy liver, you can see that it's showing enough blood circulating throughout the liver there. Remember, the liver is the one responsible for removing toxins, right, from the food products that we ingest or take through our bodies. So the liver purifies so that whatever food we take doesn't have toxins, right? But now once cirrhosis develops, then it appears, you can see now that liver is showing that damage and that disease has developed, right? Let's look at the activity one. Right. Number one says state any health issue associated with the digestive system. Then from there, you state any main component of the digestive system. There you are. You're going to have 3 minutes for that activity. Thereafter, again, we'll look at the questions. Let's get started. Right. Welcome back. Let us look at the activity, right, that we've just done. Right. Number one, state any health issue associated with the digestive system. Right. You can choose any from those given there. Ulcers, anorexia nervosa, liver cirrhosis. Right. So from those three, you just choose any of those as your answer. Right. Number two, state any main component of the digestive system. Right. We've got many components, of course, which include the mouth, the stomach, the liver, intestines, and esophagus. So just choose any of those, right, as your answer. Okay, so that's all about activity number one. Let's write corrections for those not do well, and for those did well, keep it up. Let's get moving. Let's look at the circulatory system. Right. is another system that we have to look at, right? The circulatory system. The function of this system is to bring nutrients and oxygen to cells and removes waste products. So it brings nutrients and oxygen to the cells. It also removes waste products, right? Shown on the image there, that's the diagram of the circulatory system. Okay, the main components of the circulatory system include the heart, the blood vessels, and these are the arteries, the veins, and the capillaries. And of course, the blood is the main component of the circulatory system. Okay, there is a structure of the circulatory system. There is some heart that we're talking about. That's the heart, right, which pumps blood to all the body parts. Okay, and this blood moves through the blood vessels, which include arteries, the veins, and capillaries. And of course, they'll be transporting blood. Okay, so those are the veins that are shown in blue, right? And arteries are shown there in red. Okay, let's find out more about this system. The main processes of the circulatory system, right? One, we're talking about the circulation of blood between the heart and the lungs. Circulation of blood between the heart and the lungs. Number two, circulating blood between the heart and the rest of the body. Circulating blood between the heart and the rest of the body. Okay, what more do you need to know about this circulatory system? Health issues that have to do with this system: high blood pressure, which we normally call it BP, right? Okay, we also have another health issue, is a heart attack. Okay, heart attack as well as stroke. Okay, so those are the health issues that have to do with the circulatory system. With that, we come now to activity number 2. Number 1 says stage 2 health issues associated with the circulatory system. Then number 2, state a function of the circulatory system. We go again with 3 minutes, then we do this activity, 2 questions after. Okay, welcome back. Now let's look at the responses to activity number 2. Right. Number 1 says stage 2 health issues associated with the circulatory system. Right. And these are high blood pressure, heart attack, and stroke. Number 2, state a function of the circulatory system. Right. It brings nutrients and oxygen to cells. Okay. And it removes waste products. That's the function of the circulatory system. Let's move on as we look at the respiratory system. Right. The respiratory system is function. It is responsible for supplying oxygen to the body and for removing carbon dioxide. That's the main function for the respiratory system. Supplying oxygen to the body and for removing carbon dioxide. Okay, main components, these include the nose, the mouth, trachea, and other air passageways, right? The lungs as well, and the blood, of course. Right, let's look at the structure of the respiratory system shown there. There it is, right? That's the nasal cavity, right? The nose, okay? For the nostril, the oral cavity, okay? We're talking about the mouth, with the pharynx, the trachea. Okay, what else do we have there? We've got the left main, right, which is the primary bronchus, okay, as well as the right main bronchus, which is referred to as the primary bronchus as well, right? Then we've got the right lung, and there we've got the base of the left lung, okay? So there we are. That's the structure of the respiratory system. Remember, its function for supplying oxygen to the body and removing carbon dioxide. Okay, and also remember all of these components. When I talk about the respiratory system, what comes to your mind? Mouth, nose, trachea, air passageways, lungs, and blood. Okay, as you continue with the system, let's look at the main processes of the system. Right, 1, breathing. And remember that our breathing, right, is inhalation and exhalation. All right, let's check it out. What happens in inhalation? Right, in inhalation, you are breathing in, okay? And when you breathe in, what happens? The ribs rise. The ribs rise, okay? And then, of course, down there is our diaphragm, okay? When you talk of exhalation, it means that now you are breathing out, okay? Breathing out is to exhale, and breathing in is to inhale. So that's the situation that happens each time we carry out these two processes, okay? And when we breathe out, that is exhalation, what happens? Our ribs fall, okay? So that's one of the main processes of the respiratory system. What else? Gases exchange, right? In this case, talk about diffusion, where you've got the gases exchange. Which gases are involved in this case? We've got oxygen and carbon dioxide. Remember that. We breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Okay. Then, of course, respiration. That's the process, right, where our energy is released. And of course, in this case, carbon dioxide will also be removed from our bodies, okay, through this process. What else do you need to know about this system? Health issues to do with the respiratory system. First of all, we're going to look at asthma, right? What is this disease about? There we are. We say that this one is a disorder, right? Which affects breathing, okay? Let's compare those two lungs, the normal lung and the asthmatic lung. Check out what happens when a person is now affected by asthma, right? Let's look at the normal lung. at the top there, the muscles are relaxed. Okay? During the breathing process, when the lung is normal, muscles are relaxed. Right? What else? We've got a normal lining, right, of the muscles, of the veins, right? Okay? Then we've got the normal amount of mucus. Okay? So that's a normal lung. Okay? But when the lung is now asthmatic, what happens? Okay, now if we look at the physical appearance of those two, right? Blood what? Tubes. Right, what are we having in this case? Okay? The muscle tightens. That's why now a person who's asthmatic find it so difficult to breathe. Okay? They show that they've got a difficulty in breathing. Okay? What causes that? Already the lining is swollen, right? Okay? The lining is swollen. When the lining is swollen like that, it means that not enough, right? Blood flows through as well. No enough, right? Diffusion is taking place. Then what happens? There is now excess mucus, more than enough mucus, which is needed for a normal lung. Then the person is going to find it so difficult to breathe. Okay? Then also you have to look at the health issues to do with the respiratory system, we just mentioned the asthma. Let's look at lung cancer as one of them as well. Right. So those are two lungs showing a normal lung, which is healthy, and a lung which is now having cancer. Right. As you can see there, shown on the diagram, are cancer cells which are lining up, right, on the right blood tubes. Okay. So now this one is a healthy lung. Okay. But a lung which is affected or infected with the cancer is now showing those cancer cells. Okay. That's lung cancer, whereby your lungs, right, get eaten away. Okay. And then at the end of the day, you are going to end up without having either of those lungs, and then you're going to have a difficulty in gases exchange in breathing. Okay. Usually substances like drug abuse and alcohol, they destroy our lungs. Okay. They destroy our lungs. We also have what's called bronchitis, right? Is one of the health issues to do with this respiratory system. We also have what is called asbestosis, right? It's another condition which is a health issue, right? Okay, let's look at the musculoskeletal system. The musculoskeletal system, what's the function of this system? Right, muscles produce body movements, okay? The skeleton protects the body, okay? What else? Many components include muscles, bones, cartilage, tendons, and ligaments, which means when you talk of this system, we are incorporating two systems to one. It is made up of two systems, right? Other system is the one that is only about muscles. Then the other one, the skeleton. Okay, so we've got muscles and we've got the skeleton. Then we combine these two systems to form one system, which is called the musculoskeletal system. Right, shown on the diagram, we have got the muscles, then we've got the skeleton, right? The skeleton showing the skeleton showing the system. So now in the diagram, we've got two systems that are shown. The musculoskeletal system, in this case, is made up of the muscles and the skeleton. Of course, if you look at them there, we've got a part of the muscles and a part of the skeleton. Right. So that's the system of the musculoskeletal system. Remember that the components include the muscles, right? The tendons, okay? The blood, right? The ligaments, and all these they perform one function, so that at the end of the day, a person is healthy, grows healthy, and all the other systems will be able to work with the system. The system for skeleton is the one which protects the body, right? Remember that your skeleton is made up of bones, ligaments, and joints, and these work together to make sure that your body is well balanced. And then, of course, the muscles are the ones which make it possible for an individual to move around. The muscles make it easy for locomotion. Okay, so the muscles make it easy for locomotion. Right, that's the system. Right, if you check there, take a look there, the ligaments are attached to the bones. Okay, and then of course within the bones we've got what is called the cartilage, right, which makes sure that the bones, once they're attached, they join properly and the movement is initiated. Okay, that's skeleton. Right, then the muscles are shown there. Right, there are the muscles, therefore the tendons. Okay, there we are. Okay, let's look at the main processes of the musculoskeletal system. Right, contraction and relaxation of muscles. Contraction and relaxation of muscles. That's one of the main processes. Okay, locomotion and movement. Okay, locomotion and movement. So this is another process that is very, very essential when it comes to musculoskeletal system. Right on the diagram, we've got the muscles part of the system, and then we've got the skeletal part of the system. So these two systems work together to perform one system, which is called the musculoskeletal system. Right, there we are. Then let's look at the health issues to do with this system. Right, rickets. Okay, this is not a new condition to most of us. Okay, we somehow know people or classmates, right, or family members with rickets. Okay, or maybe some of us have got this condition. Right, what happens in rickets? Let's look at the two diagrams shown there. For normal bones, that's what we need to have as normal bone structure, right? That structure of normal bones, right? Then for rickets, that's what we have. For rickets, that's what we have there. The bones break out and show some caving parts there, right? And the person will be now having some difficulty in walking or moving around. That's a condition to do with the musculoskeletal system. What else? Right? We've got what is called the osteoporosis. We've got what's called the osteoporosis. Okay? What is osteoporosis? Right. This one, it affects, right, the synovial membrane, okay, of our ligaments, right? What happens or what causes it is because the cartilage, right? Cartilage becomes degraded, right? As you can see there, that's where our cartilage is supposed to be, so that the bones are held, right, tightly, and they are free to move around and hold the muscles together, right? And once the cartilage degrades or gets decreased or limited, the person would suffer this condition of osteoporosis, right? Now, we need to know that between the joints, we've got what's called the synovial fluid, right? Synovial fluid is between the joints and ligaments, right? And now it is the one which makes the bones be flexible enough so that you can bend in your lips in whatever way, and you're able to move in whatever way, so that your body structure becomes so flexible for movement. Okay, that's osteoporosis. Okay, then we come to activity number 3. Right, what we need to do in this activity, we are supposed to state, right, any health issue associated with the respiratory system. Right, then number 2, write down and 2 components of the musculoskeletal system. Right, so that's activity number 3. State any health issue associated with the respiratory system. Number 2, write down any 2 components of the musculoskeletal system. All right, there we go. 4 minutes, then we look at the corrections after. Right, welcome back. Let us look at the activity number 3. Let's look at what was supposed to write as our answers. Right, number 1, state any health issue associated with the respiratory system. State any health issue associated with the respiratory system. Right, then of course you choose from what we have there: lung cancer, asbestosis, and bronchitis. Okay, lung cancer, asbestosis, and bronchitis. Okay, number 2, write down any 2 components of the musculoskeletal system. write down into components of the musculoskeletal system. Right. We've got the muscles, the bones, the cartilage, the tendons, and ligaments. Okay? Muscles, bones, cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. We just choose two from the list given there. Okay, that's our tip number 3. Write corrections for those who not get all those questions correctly, and for those did well, keep it up. Let's move on as we look at the excretory system. Excretory system, right? The function of this system, it removes waste from the blood and regulates the body's fluids, right? It removes waste from the blood and regulates the body's fluids. Okay. Then, of course, the main components include kidneys, bladder, and urethra. Okay, kidneys, bladder, and urethra. This is the excretory system. Remember that we say that under excretion, this is a remover of undigested food products. Okay, say these are waste products of digestion. Right. In this case, let's get the structure that we have. We have got the kidney, right? There is our ureter. Then we've got the urinal, right? Bladder. We've got the urethra. Then we've got the urinal opening. Okay. Right. Now, let's look at the main components of the excretory system. Number 1, we've got what is called the filtration. Under filtration, what happens? Blood with waste enters the kidney and filters separate the waste products and the part of the water from the blood. Okay, that's filtration. Then absorption, that's process number 2. Okay, useful substances in the filtrate such as water, glucose, and amino acids get absorbed from the kidney tubes, right, back into the blood, okay? Now, when absorption is complete, what happens? There's now diffusion, whereby waste products still in the blood diffuse from the blood into the kidney tubes, diffuse from the blood into the kidney tubes, okay? Then finally, excretion takes place, right? Once the 3 above processes are completed, what happens? The fluid, right? The fluid in the tubes that is in the form of urine, right? Enter the bladder via the ureter. Okay. Okay. So those are the processes. Then, of course, it is removed. Okay. Health issues to do with the excretory system. Okay. We've got what's called the kidney failure, the bladder infection, and kidney stones. Okay. The kidney failure, bladder infection, and kidney stones. Okay. So there we are. There is our bladder being shown there, right? Then this one is the opening of the ureter. Then we've got some bacteria there, right, shown up, okay, lining up through the urethra, okay. The internal urethral orifice shown there. Then this is the bladder wall, right? So in that case, when we talk about a person now having kidney stones, okay, I mean bladder infection, okay, where bacteria will be the cause there, okay. Now let's look at the nervous system. The nervous system, the function of the nervous system, it receives and helps the body to respond to stimuli, okay. So that's the main function of the nervous system, to receive and help the body to respond to a stimuli, okay. The main components of the nervous system include the brain, the spinal cord, the nerves, the ears, the nose, the eyes, the skin, and the tongue. All right, so those are the main components of the nervous system. Those are the main components of the nervous system. All right, let's look at the structure there, showing all the main parts of the nervous system. We've got the central nervous system and what is called the peripheral nervous system. What components are found within the central nervous system? We've got the brain. Then we've got the spinal cord. So these are the two major components of the central nervous system, which means that our nervous system is divided into two parts. We've got what's called the central nervous system, which comprises of the brain and the spinal cord, and the other part, which is the peripheral nervous system, which comprises of the sensory nerves as well as the motor nerves. Okay, that's the structure of the nervous system. Then look at the main processes of the nervous system. We talk of hearing, right? Seeing, feeling, tasting, and smelling. And all of these are shown within that image, right? Okay, we for hearing, okay, then we use the ears, okay. Then for seeing, we use the eyes, okay. For feeling, right, we use our hands to touch. Our tasting, we use our tongue. Then for smelling, we use our nose, okay. Then the other process under this nervous system is all about sending and receiving impulses throughout the body, okay. And then the final, of course, to be able to regulate temperature, right, within our bodies. So those are the main processes of the nervous system. Okay, they now come to the reproductive system, right? The reproductive system. What's the function of this system? It produces sex cells for the purpose of continuation of the species. That's the main function. To produce sex cells for the purpose of continuation of the species. Okay? Then the main components include testes, ovaries, and uterus. Those are the main components when you look at the reproductive system. There we are. We've got two systems that we can just look at them in comparison, right? We've got the male reproductive system and the female reproductive system. Right, let's look at how these two differ from each other. For the male reproductive system, we've got the male organs, which include, there we are, for the bladder, the seminal vesicle, the prostate, the urethra, epididymis, the penis, the testicle, and the vas deferens. Okay? Then when we come to female reproductive system, we look at the female organs, which include the fallopian tubes, right? The fembria, right? The ovary, the cervix, the vagina, endometrium, and the uterus. So those make up the female reproductive system. So that's how those two differ from each other, right? Let's look at the main processes that affect them. We've got growth, right? Cell division, right? And maturation. Okay? Growth, cell division, and maturation. Okay? Copulation and ejaculation. Those are the main processes. As well as ovulation, menstruation, fertilization, and implantation. Remember that these include both sides. That is the male and female reproductive processes. Okay? So, for instance, ovulation, remember that takes place only within the females. Okay? And then, of course, when we talk about menstruation, it's also to do with the females. Right? Ejaculation, males. That's where it also fit in. Okay? As we continue, we look at the health issues to do with the reproductive system. Right? What health issues are going to look at here? Infertility, fetal alcohol syndrome, and STDs. Those are the most common issues to do with this reproductive system. Activity number 4, right? The final one, it says number 1, give 2 health issues associated with the reproductive system. Number 2, state and two components of the nervous system. Number 3, write down and two components of the excretor system. So that's our activity number 4. Let's have this activity done in 4 minutes. Thereafter, we'll look at the corrections together. Right, welcome back. Let's look at the corrections for each of those questions. Number 1, give 2 health issues associated with the reproductive system. And these include infertility, fetal alcohol syndrome, and STDs. Right. Number 2, state and two components of the nervous system. Right. Just pick and two from those shown: the brain, spinal cord, nerves, ears, nose, eyes, skin, and the tongue. Okay. Number 3, write down and two components of the excretor system: filtration, absorption, diffusion, and excretion. Just pick and two from those shown. So that's all about activity number 4. That's our last activity. Now let's summarize our lesson. The human body consists of several integrated systems working together. Right. The digestive system breaks down the food into dissolved nutrients that can be absorbed into the bloodstream, transported to cells throughout the body. The circulatory system brings nutrients and oxygen to cells and removes waste products. That's what the circulatory system does. Okay? The nervous system receives and helps the body respond to a stimuli. The respiratory system is responsible for supplying oxygen to the body and for removing carbon dioxide, while the musculoskeletal system provides support and enables movement. Then finally, the excretory system, it removes waste from the blood and regulates the body's fluids. Okay, remember to send your comments and all your work through our WhatsApp number 079-578-2908. The next lesson, we'll be looking at the human reproduction, but this time around, we're looking at puberty. That's our next lesson. Okay, so go research, find more about this topic. Once we meet again, you'll be ready for our lesson. So let's meet next time. Thank you.